Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a personal, YouTube-y style beauty Q&A, that kind of thing. So I'm going to get started with Instagram, and the first question is actually from Corey from Dizzy Brunette. She has a really lovely YouTube channel, and she said, what are your tips for fellow petite girls? For the majority of the time, I do dress as exactly how I want. The areas I struggle are mainly skirts and trousers, generally not jeans, but with skirts, dresses and tailored trousers I do struggle a little bit. If I can, I will actually have things taken up. So if there's something that I am completely in love with and I know that I will wear over and over and over again, I will just spend a little bit of money. For me, it doesn't cost very much. It's like an extra £10 having that item taken up. So I'd highly recommend tailoring, because for me, it just makes me feel like everything is still accessible to me. I don't feel like I have to shop in certain places. And in terms of styling tips, I generally just wear what I want to wear. I do find that wearing like dark jeans and dark boots on the bottom does make you look taller, but if you're standing next to someone who is tall, I usually am, you're always still going to look small. But for photos, it generally is quite elongating on your figure. I'm very much a boots and heels kind of girl, so always wearing those is gonna make you look a lot taller. The next question is, what are your 3 favorite high street clothes shops and why? Topshop is like my number one always. I just love the items that they do. They do a lot of trend pieces, but I also find a lot of my really classic like will wear forever items in there, and I love their unique stuff as well. I also love the personal shopping element that they do. The lighting is way better, like everything is better about it, and I love the fact that Brighton has that in their store. So yeah, for me that is like my number one, because the shopping experience is so much better. I also really like Zara. I know they don't have a good rep in terms of like how they treat the people that make the clothes and their timing turnaround. It's quite similar to H&M. I have a few coats from them that I've bought and I've worn and been wearing for like 5 years, and they really have stood the test of time. So I do love their stuff, but I don't shop in there all the time. I like River Island. I don't find that I can find a lot of things for me in there for my style. Every so often I come out with a cracker from there. Like I recently bought the leather trousers that they do, and those are amazing. They literally are like, they're like a suede-y kind of material on the inside. They feel lovely to wear, and then they're like a good sturdy looking leather-esque material, and they just are the perfect fit. They don't like go baggy or anything. They're literally the dream. How did you get into vlogging and YouTube? Have you got any hints or tips for beginners? I would say in the beginning, just film loads of videos. You don't even have to put them up, but just get used to being on camera and editing yourself, and make sure it's something you really enjoy doing first. Like make sure that process is something you like doing before you even upload it, because you have to enjoy the process. Otherwise you are literally just going to be hating life if you throw yourself into it full force. And when you're ready, pick your favorite videos that you filmed and upload those ones. Don't feel like you have to do everything. I wish I'd done that in the beginning. I just used to film and upload, but I just really enjoyed that process, and I didn't really care that my videos were crap and that I didn't know what I was doing. I had no practice at speaking on camera at all. I hadn't like given myself a chance to practice, and because of that it's so cringe to watch back. But that is my tip, and if I could go back I would have pre-filmed a lot more. I would also say, until you know that you love it and you've been doing it for at least like 6 months, I would say don't invest too much money in it. Like I didn't buy an SLR like big camera like I'm filming on now until I was about 1.5 years maybe into vlogging and YouTube, and that really helped me push myself a little bit more, because I felt I could do more. Lots of people do it and will give up within like a year. So it's really important for me that people feel like they don't have to spend hundreds or thousands of pounds on equipment and things like that to get into YouTube. You really don't. And my laptop had like basic software on it, so I didn't need anything. I didn't spend any money, and I feel like that's the best way to make sure you fully love it, rather than investing a lot of money and then feeling like you have to make it work. Next question is, have you ever thought of doing a capsule wardrobe? And this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. I always watch capsule wardrobe videos. I'm really into them. What I currently do have in my wardrobe, with some exceptions, is a 1-in, 1-out system. This applies to shoes, bags, obviously not for like going out or events or things like that, or like, you know, basic white t-shirts and stuff like that. I don't count those as a 1-in, 1-out, because I just think you can never have enough. But when it comes to like roll neck jumpers and stuff like that, I'm always like, do I need a new one of those? No. Okay, if I do buy that and I love it, I need to get rid of one of the ones I already own. So I'm trying to be a little bit more reserved with my wardrobe and not shop too much and not shop unnecessarily. And in terms of bags as well, I'm fully on a very strict, that is where I'm most strict, the 1-in, 1-out system. And I'll sell one bag to make space for another and things like that. I recently sold my Sophie home bag on my Depop, which a lot of you were asking when I got my Givenchy Chantegona. When I got that, lots of you were asking which bag I got rid of. I got rid of the Sophie Holm and sold that to charity. I feel like a full capsule wardrobe of some kind could happen for me one day, but I'm not sure in what way yet. I don't love the idea of shopping at one point in the month. I like the idea of picking up bits when I need them and not restricting myself too much to a number of items in my wardrobe. For me, I kind of go by hangers and what I can fit in there. Oh, I love this next question. Top 3 perfumes of all time. So my first, like my number 1 is from Zarko Perfumes. It's called Pink Molecule. It's very grapefruity, very sweet, but a little bit kind of musky and vanilla-y as well. It's just absolutely stunning. You can get it in Space NK. If you pass the Space NK, go and give it a sniff because I'm obsessed with it. I would also say YSL Black Opium is one of my all-time favourite fragrances, as is Tom Ford Velvet Orchid. But at the moment I'm really into Elizabeth and James Nirvana White. Like, love. That could be a contender for like my top 3, but I'm not sure because the other ones are ones that I've been wearing for years and years, as is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. I also love that. So can I do a top 5? Because those are my top 5. The next question is, are you planning on getting married or having kids? I feel like if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner or whatever, this is an expected question that you just get all the time. I feel like even from family, it's like, when you get married, when you having kids? The answer is yes. I don't know when. I don't really know how it fits in with my job. Don't really know if I'm ready for that yet, but at some point, yes, definitely. The next question is, how would you style a pair of embroidered trainers this spring, summer? I personally am a fan of, like, if you have like embellished trainers or like embroidered trainers that are quite feminine, pairing them with a dress, I think that's a really cool way to wear them. Boyfriend jeans, always. I like to wear something a bit more feminine on the top to balance out the very kind of like casual and androgynous bottom. I think like boyfriend jeans, always a good one. I also think they look quite cool with midi skirts. I really do. I think trainers always look cool with midi skirts and like just like a slouchy jumper that's like tucked in with a belt. I always feel like if you've got something that's embellished or embroidered, it's always good to go a little bit more androgynous to like balance it out. Pinterest is really good for like styling trainers because that's all I see on my Pinterest anyway. Type in just like how to style whatever into the Pinterest bar. It's amazing. Your top 3 handbags. I would say number 1 is always a Givenchy Chantegona. People keep giving me jip for not being able to say Givenchy in a French accent, and I'm really sorry, but I can't do accents. But yeah, these bags are the best. I own 2 of them. They just fit so much in them and they're really durable. It doesn't get misshapen at all, which is incredible, and I just love them. They are my number 1 handbag. If we're talking about high street bags, I always do love Zara bags. I think they're great. They really stand the test of time and they do some really good inspired by kind of bags. Sometimes they do proper dupes, which I don't know if I like, but they also do bags that are just kind of inspired by other designer bags. This is definitely my number 2. I wear this so much. I got so much more out of it than I thought I would, and it is just the most gorgeous bag. I originally thought this was going to wind me up like nothing else, but actually it's been so fine and it fits so much in it. It's just the most gorgeous feminine little bag. It's so cute. And my number 3, I would say, it's a tough one, but I think I would probably put my Chanel in at my number 3. It's like my favorite small bag. It's a toss up like that. I love my Balenciaga and I also love that, and I also love my Valentino. I feel like I love my Chanel more than those 2 though. The next question is, what is your next designer bag purchase? I think I might have spoken about this in my either the luxury addict tag I did back in September or in my bag collection. I can't remember which video it was, but I talked about really wanting a Gucci Dionysus. I just came back from New York with Alex, who has one. She has the monogram, but I really want just a suede one, and I've got my eye on one at the moment. And yeah, I'm resisting. My willpower though is very weak, so that could happen. The next question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And for me, it's so tricky because in this line of work, you never know what is going to happen. It's quite hard to say, but I would definitely say in the next 5 years, okay, so I'll be 30, I would like to live in a different place to this. I'd like to have been married by the time I'm 30, you'd hope. Yeah, I'd like to maybe have a child or children maybe by that point. But yeah, I'd like to be doing kind of what I'm doing now, and I'll probably just have a child here and Nala on the other side, just balancing them all. This next question is slightly controversial, but I thought I'd answer it because I feel like this is kind of an important one to answer and not just avoid. How do you afford so many designer items? Do you make money from another source beside YouTube? I have a few different sources of income. So I make money from the ads on YouTube videos. I also make money from affiliate links. So with the links in the down bar, I just link whatever I'm wearing. And when I haul stuff, the links, some of them will be affiliate links. I put the actual what the link looks like in the disclaimer. I know there's a lot of shaming around affiliate links at the moment. It takes a long time to find things. So I will buy things in store. I won't always buy them online. I don't have the links saved. So for bloggers and YouTubers, affiliate links is like a really cool thing. We basically get like a couple of pennies every time you buy, and it doesn't actually cost you anything. It costs the company pays us. So I make money from that, and then I also make money from brand sponsorships. So when you see an ad on YouTube, and that is my main area of income, I also do that not just on YouTube, on my Instagram, Insta stories, blog, like any platform I have, I can work with a brand in that kind of way. I will also do events and things like that. So I just attended New York Fashion Week with Tresemme, and that was really awesome. I like doing events like that a lot, being paid to speak at conferences and stuff like that. There's a lot of different things that bloggers and YouTubers can do that's off camera, and we can be paid for that. And then sometimes there's things like consulting for brands. They might ask you to come in for your opinion on things. Sometimes there'll be a new product that's like in the making, and a marketing team are looking at how to market it and things like that. So that's my income. And in terms of affording designer items, it's good to keep in mind that I don't live in an overly expensive flat. It's not really that bank-breakingly expensive at all. I don't live in London, and that helps a lot. I also don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't really spend my money on anything like that. My spare money basically goes on the clothes I want to buy and Deliveroo. But basically I just put a chunk of my money away each month and put it into savings, and if I want a bag or a luxury item or stuff like that, I will buy it with that. Sometimes I get a press discount. The brand will email me like a gift voucher or something like that as a way of saying like, please consider us when you're purchasing your luxury goods. And if I buy a bag that way, then I generally tell you guys, and whether they were purchased by myself or with an affiliate link, or whether they were gifted, stuff like that. Was there an age that you felt everything sort of clicked into place in terms of life, job, happiness, etc., or was it a slow process? Things were really wobbly for me just in life in general until I was about 15, and then I met Josh, and he was like not just boyfriend, he was like best friend, and he's always been like a really good solid person in my life. So I think emotionally I changed a lot at that age and became a little bit more settled, and as you get older that just happens anyway. I would actually say I feel like 21 was the age where I really started to find my feet in the world. I started my blog, I was still working, and I think 21 was the year I moved out, so I had a lot more freedom. I really started getting into YouTube, and my confidence started growing both at work and just like personally, and I think from there I really grew, and that was like a big point in my life where I started to feel very sure of myself. I would say you're always learning and growing, and it's all a work in process in terms of like your happiness and how you feel about things. So it's never like one day you just suddenly feel like, I'm okay, I'm good in life. The next question is, if you could choose one item in your wardrobe to save from a fire, what would it be and why? I would say my Chanel boy bag, not because it's like my favourite bag of all time. I would actually say I have like my Givenchy Antigona is like the favourite bag of all time, but I spent so much damn money on that bag that I'm not letting that go up in flames. The next question is really interesting. Would you ever consider changing the focus of your channel? A few YouTubers have done so recently, and I'm wondering if you ever feel like changing the direction of your posts. I really like this question, and I feel like it's quite interesting because for me, I feel like the direction of my channel has changed a lot over the couple of years. I feel like I've really grown and changed, and I've started doing more travel and a lot more fashion, and for me that was a kind of slight shift in direction for me. Like I'm not just doing beauty anymore, and I really like that. Like fashion is one of the things that I'm so ridiculously passionate about, and if I could just make all the fashion videos all the time, I would. But if we're talking about like adding more stuff in, I would maybe, when I own a home, add some interior bits in. I don't know is the answer to that question. If I could twist that and ask you guys if you would like to see me add anything in, what would it be? Please don't say books, because there's only so many videos you can make on Harry Potter, you know. Where is your favourite place to eat in London? I love Home Slice. I love the Ivy Cafe on King's Road, which is in Chelsea. The Good Life in Chelsea is also great. Ham Yard Hotel, also love the food there, it's so good. How do you plan multiple projects at once? I use iCal. I just plan everything out in my calendar. I don't know how I do it. I just have a million things on the go at one time. For me, I basically just plan in all of my deadlines in my diary. So I'll put like the main thing that I'm doing in my diary, and then I'll work backwards from there and plan all of the deadlines in. That's kind of how I work. I always work backwards from an event. I think a lot of people forget to do that, and then they get to like a couple of days before and they're like, oh my God, I need to do this like 2 days ago. Whoops. Are there any hairstyles you want to try in the future? Like maybe a short bob hairstyle? Guys, it's not happening. It is not happening. I've been there. I've done that. I was so unhappy. I'd rather have uncool hair than be unhappy. Which company or project that you've worked with has been your favorite? That's a really cool question. 100% the video that I did with Guerlain back in May. I think off the top of my head, that is the one that I always think of as like my, this is amazing, I'm so excited about this, so happy with the video. So are you planning any more tattoos? Yes. The answer to that is always yes. So I think I'm gonna leave this video here for now. Nala has just come back from her walk and got mud all over me. I don't know if you can see it on my sleeve. So I need to go and sort her out. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this Q&A. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. As always, I'll put my previous videos here for you to go and watch, and a subscribe button there. That is it from me today. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye.